Ukraine is destroying Russian military aircraft using drones that cost less than a family SUV. We're talking $600 for a drone, and they're taking out bombers worth $100 million. And they're not going after random targets either. These are aircraft Russia literally can't replace. The factories shut down 30 years ago. Once they're gone, they're gone. Strategic bombers, nuclear-capable stuff, frontline fighters. In one operation, one night, Ukraine hit over 40 aircraft at 5 different air bases. 40 in a single night. So how did Ukraine's cheap drones just punch straight through Russian air defenses? And what does that mean for air forces everywhere? Because whatever vulnerability Russia has, we have it too. What's happening right now isn't just some tactical win. This is warfare changing in real time. Operation Spiderweb. Back in June 2025, Ukraine launched something called Operation Spiderweb, and honestly, it might be the craziest drone operation anyone's ever pulled off. They used 117 small drones, FPV racing drones, basically. Each one cost somewhere between $600 and $1,000. And with those, they hit 5 Russian air bases at the same time. Bases spread across thousands of kilometers. This wasn't scouting. This was a coordinated strike on Russia's strategic bomber fleet. Think about what they were actually hitting. 222 M3 bombers. These are nuclear-capable, long-range strike platforms. We're talking $100, maybe $200 million each. 295 Bears. Su-34 fighters that cost $36 million a pop. CSIS ran the numbers. This one operation might have taken out 1/3 of Russia's cruise missile-carrying aircraft. 1/3 in one night. And these bases were supposed to be untouchable. S-400 air defense everywhere. Electronic warfare jammers. Some of these places are 1,800 kilometers from Ukraine. The drones still got through. If you're into this stuff, if you want to understand where military tech is actually heading, drop Game Changer in the comments. How the strikes work. Before we get into how these strikes actually happen, you gotta understand what Ukraine built here. And this part genuinely surprised me. These aren't some secret military drones. What's destroying Russia's air force right now? Modified racing drones, running open source software called Autopilot. Stuff hobbyists use. So Ukraine's got different drones for different jobs now. For swarm attacks like Spiderweb, they use small FPV drones. $600 to $1,000 each. Small warhead, but the point is numbers. Overwhelm the defenses. For longer range stuff, they've got drones like the FP1, about $55,000 per unit. Flies over 1,600 kilometers. Carries a 60-kilogram warhead. And that's still way cheaper than a Russian Shahed, which runs like 190 grand. Here's what people miss though. You don't need to blow up a $100 million bomber. Just damage it, punch a hole in the fuel tank, fry the avionics, mess up the control surfaces, done. That plane's not flying again. And Ukraine's making over 100 of these long-range drones every day now. Now here's how the actual operation went down. Western intel says Ukrainian operatives smuggled drone parts into Russia, using regular trucks, civilian vehicles. Then they put the drones together near the target bases. The drones flew low, really low, under 100 meters. That's specifically to stay beneath Russian radar. Navigation was mostly pre-programmed GPS using Autopilot, and they exploited every gap in radar coverage they could find. Valleys, terrain masking, dead zones. But here's where it gets interesting. For the final approach, AI takes over. AI targeting has pushed Ukrainian hit rates from maybe 30, 40% up to around 80. The drones find parked aircraft on their own. Adjust in real time. No human needed for the actual strike. So let's talk actual numbers. 117 drones, 5 air bases. Total cost for every drone in that swarm? $70,000 to $120,000 total. Ukraine's claiming over 40 aircraft hit. CSIS analysis says this one attack might have wiped out 1/3 of Russia's cruise missile-carrying aircraft. Pentagon's estimating total Russian losses around $2 billion. Ukrainian sources say closer to 7. But either way, S-400s, Pantsir systems, electronic warfare trucks, all of it failed. The drones still got through. This wasn't luck. This was Ukraine finding fundamental holes in how modern air defense actually works. Why air defense failed? So Russia's S-400 Triumph. This is supposed to be one of the best air defense systems in the world. Tracks 300 targets at once. Hits aircraft, cruise missiles, even ballistic missiles at extreme range. Countries pay billions for this thing. So why can't it stop a $600 drone? Here's the honest answer. It was built for a totally different war. The S-400 is designed for jets with big radar signatures, cruise missiles at medium to high altitude, ballistic missiles on predictable paths, things that are big, fast, high. Ukrainian FPV drones are none of that. They're tiny, size of a big bird. They fly low and slow, and those composite frames barely show up on radar. But here's the real issue. It's called radar horizon. At low altitude, the curve of the Earth literally blocks the radar beam. Drones flying at 50, 100 meters, they're just underneath. The radar can't see them. It's like using a sniper rifle to shoot mosquitoes. Amazing weapon. Aimed at the wrong thing. So Russia figured out they had a radar problem. They adapted. Rolled out these Krasuka 4 jamming trucks. Big vehicles stuffed with gear to disrupt drone communications across 300 kilometers. Didn't work. Ukraine adapted faster. Ukrainian drones now use frequency hopping. They jump between radio frequencies thousands of times per second. Russian jammers lock on to one frequency. The drone's already somewhere else. But it gets better. Some Ukrainian drones go fully autonomous for the final approach. No radio needed at all. Pre-programmed GPS. AI visual navigation. They find their targets without any signal to jam. Can't jam something that isn't listening. Russia spent billions on electronic countermeasures. Ukraine beat them with software updates. But here's the part that should genuinely worry everyone. Could we stop these attacks? The Patriot system. Same thing protecting American bases everywhere. Could it handle swarms of cheap drones flying low? Probably not much better than Russia, honestly. Patriot has similar problems with small, low-altitude stuff. It was built for jets and ballistic missiles, not racing drones with explosives taped on. What's happening in Ukraine isn't just Russia's problem. It's a preview of something every modern military is vulnerable to. Those billion-dollar air defenses we've counted on for decades. They weren't designed for this threat. The economics. Before I throw numbers at you, think about this for a second. You spend $100 million on a bomber, another $500 million protecting it with air defense. Park it 1,000 kilometers from any enemy, then watch it get destroyed by something cheaper than an iPhone. That's what Russia's dealing with. And the math is absolutely brutal. Real numbers. Ukrainian FPV drone, $600 to $1,000. Long-range FP1, $55,000. Targets, 222. M3 bomber, 100 to 200 million replacement value. Su-34 fighter bomber, 36 million. And those S-400 missiles Russia keeps firing at drones? 1 to 3 million each. They're launching multiple missiles per drone. Still missing. See the problem? Ukraine's making Russia burn million-dollar missiles on $600 threats, and still losing aircraft worth $100 million. Every dollar Ukraine spends, Russia loses thousands. We've literally never seen asymmetric warfare at this scale. For Spiderweb alone, Ukrainian sources say $7 billion in damage. US intelligence is more conservative, around $2 billion. But everyone agrees on this. Ukraine's total drone cost for the whole operation, $70,000 to $120,000. Ukraine spent roughly $100,000. Russia lost somewhere between 2 and 7 billion. That's a cost ratio of like 20,000 to 1, minimum. And here's what makes this devastating for Russia specifically. Every 222 M3 they lose. Gone forever. Production stopped in the 90s. The expertise, supply chains, tooling doesn't exist anymore. Meanwhile, Ukraine's scaling drone production with stuff you can buy commercially. Over 100 long-range drones a day. Russia's losing irreplaceable strategic assets. Ukraine's making replacements in garages. The future. 117 drones. 5 air bases across Russia. Different directions, different timing, all coordinated to arrive together. Ukrainian startups built something called Swarmer. One operator can control 8 to 25 drones at once. They've tested swarms of over 100. Some drones fly high to draw fire and waste missiles. Others slip in low. Some carry explosives. Some are just decoys. Even if Russia shoots down 70, 80%, which they're not, the rest still hit their targets. And here's why this threat keeps evolving. Ukrainian drone teams iterate faster than any traditional military can. New software updates in days. Hardware mods in weeks. 3D printed parts. Open source flight control. AI that learns from every mission. Russia builds a countermeasure. Ukraine works around it in days. By the time Russia adapts again, Ukraine's already 3 steps ahead. This isn't a technology gap. It's an innovation speed gap. Russia's response tells you everything about how effective this is. They're moving bombers even further away. But Spiderweb proved distance doesn't help. Olenia Air Base sits 1,800 kilometers from Ukraine. Still got hit. Ukraine's drones basically created a threat zone covering most of European Russia. There's no safe rear area for their strategic aviation anymore. NATO and US planners are watching this really closely. The Pentagon's fast-tracking counter-drone work and completely rethinking base defense. But here's the bigger question. What does this mean for Taiwan? If $600 drones can hit Russian bases over 1,000 kilometers away, what would Chinese drone swarms do to American carriers? Forward bases in the Pacific, ships trying a Taiwan landing. China's watching all this footage, taking notes. The same vulnerability Ukraine is exploiting. Carrier groups have it. Pacific bases have it. Every concentrated military asset has it. If Russia, with some of the most advanced air defense on the market, can't protect bombers from $600 drones, what does that mean for air power? For every military that spent billions on aircraft and defenses built for a different kind of war? If this was useful, subscribe and hit the bell. Drop a comment. What should we cover next? Ukraine's $600 drones rewrote the rules. Maybe permanently. Billion-dollar air defense? Not built for this. $100 million bombers? Burning on runways 1,800 kilometers from the front. Decades of military doctrine? Getting shredded by garage innovation and open source code. What's happening here isn't just clever adaptation by one country. It's a preview. This is what future conflicts look like. Expensive, concentrated assets safe behind defensive perimeters. That era's ending. This is the future of warfare, playing out right now.